that cover. Well, Mr. Mayor, I screwed up the intro, but let's get started anyway. And good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to the Port Center Spotlight Podcast. My name is Andrew Murata, host of the podcast, and very pleased, very honored to have our mayor here, Dominic Cicalese.
Thank you, Mr. Murata. It is an honor and a pleasure to be here with you and on this podcast.
Welcome to the program, and we appreciate you. Sorry, I screwed up the intro there. I have the wrong video. There it is there, Dominic. I clicked on the wrong thing. We will end the show with that. How's that?
Sounds good to me.
But we are live here, so you can jump in, say hello, let us know where you are watching from. And certainly, again, to have the mayor here, what a connection to the schools, Dominic. So let's get started there. You are a Port Jervis graduate, class of 99.
Proud graduate of 1999. Yeah, legendary class of 99.
Go Raiders.
That's right.
How was your experience? Tell me some of your highlights from your time.
My experience in the Port Jervis High School was excellent. I tell everybody I had the run-of-the-mill experience as a senior and as a student. You know, I had a lot of friends in high school. A lot of them still to this day. Eric Hipsman, Craig Waymer, Mike Soboleski. Those guys were still tight to this day. You know, I can't say enough about the Port Jervis School District. I can't. Yeah.
And I know you're a huge sports fan. Were you involved with sports there? What was your sport?
I played sports early. I was a baseball guy. You know. My friends were all football players and such, and it was. They did a lot of winning. They did a lot of winning. Yeah,
awesome.
We were fortunate during our years, you know. And we had a Corvino too.
Who were some of the adults that stood out? Who were some of the teachers that had a deep impact on you?
Teachers for me, Bob Corvino, Ron Cimaretto. Still to this day, I see Ron Cimaretto, and I just get a smile on my face when I talk to him, or I see him out at the links.
Give coach a shout out. Yeah. Getting elected to the Hall of Fame here this year.
That's awesome. Yeah. Good for him. Deserving. Michael Pacer. I played drums.
Did you? Really?
Yeah, I played drums. Mike Pacer was a big influence also. Okay. And every now and then I think of how he's doing too, you know.
He is. Have you seen him play?
I haven't seen him in a while.
The Band of One.
He's an incredible talent, and he's an incredible human being also.
He is.
Yeah. George Roman. Another one. I see George. He's another one I see him to this day. Yeah.
And was your social studies teacher?
He was.
Yeah.
Dick Roberts was a social studies teacher of mine. Yeah. And it's interesting now that as an adult you see them now and they accept you as an adult or equals, and that's what makes this town great too. You know, it's another example of why people should stay here or why I stayed here.
Yeah.
You know? So. Yeah, I owe a lot to those guys.
Fantastic. They're all wonderful men and have had great leadership in the schools. Mike, that's awesome to hear Mike Pacer's name.
Yeah, it is.
Awesome. Cool. So tell me, you leave Port. Did you go for fire science? Did you study? What drew you to becoming a firefighter? Dominic is a lifelong firefighter in the city of Middletown. You're the chief of police of fire there now?
No, I'm just a career firefighter there. I was chief of the fire department here
in Port.
Yep.
Got it.
Yeah, from 2018 till 2021.
Okay.
I was the assistant chief from 2012 till 2017. So
but your day job, quote unquote,
yes,
is the city of Middletown.
Yep, career firefighter.
Okay. Yeah. What drew you towards that?
So my father and Jim Roner and Russ Potter were chiefs together in the city back in the early 90s. So for the Port Jervis Fire Department, I grew up in the Port Jervis Fire Department, and watching those men lead the department through the years and everything, I would go with my father on fire calls. You know, back in those days, there wasn't cell phones, there weren't pagers or anything like that. They actually used to put the fire bells that are in the firehouses in your home for the chiefs.
Wow.
So yeah, whenever there was a fire call, the bell would go off. I'd run out to my dad's truck, in a truck with him, and go on calls with him. And back in those days, you could do that in the early and mid 90s. And ever since then, it was one of those things where I was just like, I feel like I have to do this.
Wow.
And I got fortunate after I got out of high school. I started taking civil service tests, and I ended up hitting the lottery
in Middletown.
Yeah.
when did you know, like, yeah, this is what I want to do? When did you kind of feel it? Was it in high school? Was it an experience with your dad?
It was more or less an experience with my father, and Jimmy Roner and them, like just seeing, the camaraderie and there's an excitement that comes with this job, like you do get a front row seat to wild things in this world, but, for me, that's where it was at,
And you say excitement. Those that don't do the job, we look at the danger, right? The thing's on fire. You're the guy responsible here that's going to fix it.
Sure.
Tell me about balancing that danger versus you want to try to save this building, save this people, save this situation.
Which you have to understand is, if you're going into those situations, there's a reason why, right? It's somebody's worst day. They're calling you on their worst day, no matter what it is. It could be a water leak, or it could be their house is on fire, and you have to perform. You have to be at your best, and you have to stay civil through the whole thing. But that's where the training comes in. We go through a lot of training, and it pays off.
Tell me about working on a crew. Are you on a specific truck? You're in a specific house? How does it work?
So I'm out of the Central Firehouse in Middletown, and I work out of Central with 4 other guys, and I'm going to give them a shout out. Jimmy Bierman, Craig Becker, who I went to the academy with, graduated the fire academy with. My lieutenant's Mike Demchek, who is just a brilliant person. And another one of my close friends, I think I said Jimmy Bierman.
Give a shout out.
Yeah. The 4 of us are very close in and out of work. And, I'm on an engine, a rescue engine. So I handle all the rescue calls, the MBAs, in addition to fire. So I get a little bit of everything with my job at work. So yeah, I'm fortunate.
And how does that now work, Dominic? You're the newly elected mayor here, January 1, right?
January 1, yeah.
So are you doing 24-hour shifts there? How does it work? Is it 9 to 5?
So it's not 9 to 5. It's a 24-hour tour. So I go in at 7 o'clock in the morning, and then I get out the following 7 o'clock in the morning, and then I get 3 days off after that.
Nice.
And then I go back into the firehouse. So essentially, you work 24 on, 72 off, and then my days rotate through. So when I was making a decision to run for mayor, obviously the number one decision you have to make, other than does your family, okay with this, is do you have the time? And I do. I work 92 days a year.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. It's some days it's unfair. I feel bad.
Long days, though. But,
so when it came time, like I knew I had the time to put into it. And that was my other driving factor to doing this. One of the main factors is putting the time into the office and the city.
If you're watching the show live, jump in, say hello. Our mayor here, Dominic Cicalese, Port grad, Port resident, and now the mayor. So how does that work, Dominic? It's 2 o'clock on a Wednesday afternoon. You're working, and a call comes in about something going on in the city. How do you balance those two things at the same time?
So when I'm at work, I'm fortunate also that my councilman at large, Mike Hockenberry, he's in my place. So if something comes up, I can either text him or call him or email him, and he'll handle it for me.
Wow. Oh, that's great.
But we've got the city pretty much already set with the department heads and the city departments. They're pretty used to my schedule and everything. So, a lot of business can wait till the next day.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
awesome.
Yeah.
So walk me through a day now. You've been on the job 5 months.
5 months.
Walk me through a typical day. You have young children. We'll get to that, but you're going to the office. Is it 6 a.m., 9 a.m.? Tell me about a typical day going into the office.
So for me with City Hall, I usually go in around 8:30, 9 o'clock in the morning. And then my administrative assistant, Kristen Trovey, she'll set my schedule for me. And some days we'll purposely not have meetings so I can handle city business. And then other days I'll meet with the public from 9 o'clock in the morning till 3 o'clock in the afternoon, Okay. And then every second and fourth Monday of the month, we have our city council meeting. So we also need to prepare for that with the weeks leading up to it and go from there. Yeah.
You enjoying it?
I love it so far. I do. I love it. It's everything I thought it would be and more.
Wow.
Yeah. Wow. And I've told everybody this, I don't want to do it forever, but I feel like right now is the time to do it. Yeah. So everything lined up and here we are.
Good for you. What's something the former mayor, Kelly Decker, teacher here in the district, what's something that Kelly kind of gave you as a bit of advice or something?
Just kind of keep everything in perspective. One piece of advice they told me is you get a lot of emails, and he was not kidding. I think I get 50, 60 emails a day.
Wow.
At least. Yeah. So that piece of advice he gave me was absolutely true.
Telling you what a great job you're doing.
Yeah, it's split 50-50. You know?
Wow.
Yeah.
So how do you manage that? How do you have my email sitting on my screen on the other screen now? How do you have it organized? How do you all that stuff because you don't want to miss something?
No. So when I'm in my office, same thing. I have one screen up with the emails on it. My administrative assistant obviously kind of checks over my emails too and make sure nothing important gets missed. And then I've grown accustomed to carrying 2 phones now, which was something Mayor Decker left upon me. So I have the city phone, which I take the calls off of and the emails off of. So even when I'm out on the road or whatever, or home at night, I can answer emails off that.
Wow.
Yeah. And they don't stop. So.
Wow. Well, good luck, Dominic. Again, the city, the school district, the city, there's so much positive momentum. I mean, we say Port Pride here. There's so much positive momentum, so many great things happening.
There are.
Talk to me about some of the initiatives that you have going on in the city.
Yeah. So we actually have a lot going on in the city. Right up the road here from you is Orange Square Park. That's going to currently undergo a whole rehabilitation. We're going to take out that small green little bandstand and put in a full bandstand, ran all new electric lighting. The fountains are finally going to be redone, which if the public probably noticed that last year it wasn't running. This year we're going to get it up and running.
This is the park by the old Citizens Bank.
Yep, right here. Yep.
It's kind of the mainstay of the city.
It is. It's a beautiful park, and now that the funding came through last year, the work's going to begin this year. So that's exciting. West End Beach is going to undergo some updates to its bathhouse. We have the DRI. The downtown revitalization initiative, which the city was awarded $10 million for. So we're hoping by June we'll start to hear an announcement. The state hasn't really tipped their hand on when yet, but it should be soon. And those projects, as they get announced, they're going to be very exciting too, and they're going to have such a positive impact on our city. So I really think we do have a buzz, and it's going to only grow. It's going to continue to get bigger and bigger and bigger, and we got to stay with that, and we got to guide it properly. So it too much can get out of hand, and you got to just get it right. So.
I mean, you walk around the city, just the businesses popping up, and the school district, Dominic, has a great relationship with the police, with the town, with all the people. Even you walking through the school offices here, you knew every other person.
Yeah,
because it was a relationship.
Sure, the school and the city have such a tight, close relationship, and it's important we keep that. And obviously with Dr. Bell and yourself, it's going to only get better.
Yeah,
it is, and I think it's important that we foster that relationship, and we move forward and we collaborate on different events and projects and ideas and such. No idea is a bad idea, and that is so true. And we're fortunate to have Dr. Bell.
Oh yeah,
another poor guy.
Shout out, Hall of Famer. Yeah, Ms. Babcock, thanks for tuning in. Dominic, you mentioned like Mike Hockenberry, and Mike was one of our police officers working in the schools.
Yes,
and it was tremendous. Something happened in town, vice versa. There was just such a connection that helped.
Oh yeah,
especially if it was a bad situation that we could get to the bottom of it. Tell me again about that relationship with the police and them being in our buildings, and the connection to keeping track of tabs of good things and bad things that might be going on with the youth in town.
So going back to Mike Hockenberry was one of the officers. Jason Vicarella was another one.
Oh yeah,
Jason Vic was an SRO for a while.
Fantastic.
Jason sits, and actually Jason is the police committee chairman. So Jason oversees the PD with Billy Warden, our chief of police. And kind of go back on your question, it's incredibly important that we have the police in the schools, and it's incredibly important that we keep the police in the schools. The police presence doesn't have to be militant. It can foster relationships that go outside of the the 4 walls of a school and build off of that for the officers in the street and such. And I don't see how, I wish the state would give us more money to put towards putting more officers into the schools, because I don't subscribe to the, there was rhetoric out there that, it's a negative, and it's militant and such, but I definitely don't believe it. It's with my kids, one day will be going to the schools. They're a little young right now, but they will be going to Port River schools. And I want them to be as safe and know that they're safe as possible.
Yeah.
As a parent, even, when we turn over care to you, we trust you and the police officers to keep them safe. And, I just wish the state would throw us a little bit more money on that one.
If you're watching the show live, jump in and say hello. It's a tremendous relationship, though, and
it is.
The guys and the women know our kids. They know
Yes.
what's happening in the schools. It's been a great thing. So let's talk about you and your leadership a little bit.
Sure.
Again, January 1, you took on this new role. Talk to me about leadership and your vision of what a leader looks like and the leader that you want to be as mayor.
Well, the leader I want to be as mayor is not so much, yelling from the rooftops and such. I kind of lead quietly. That's kind of my thing. And I take care of business as it comes up. I've never been one, even when I ran the fire department, that, looked for any sort of credit or anything. It was just put your nose down and work and click off the initiatives and click off the projects. And that's kind of how I see my tenure as mayor. Slowly things will change. Slowly things will get better. Slowly, improvements will happen and they will be noticeable. I guarantee you that they will be noticeable. And that's how I run City Hall too. Because being mayor is a two-pronged approach, really. Like, it's out in the public, the master of ceremony, and then it's running City Hall day by day. And that's the hard part of the job that no one realizes is, the city is, it's a quiet community in that sense, but our city government's a 24-hour agency, our police department, our fire department, the water department, and people don't realize that. And some do. I shouldn't say that, but and you have to stay on top of that every day, because the business doesn't stop.
Yeah. Those emails coming through. Talk to me about negativity. Sometimes people just like to blast the person at the top. You might not even know what the issue is, and they just want to go right to the mayor. They want it to go right to the principal, right to the superintendent. With a negative issue. Tell me about handling a negative kind of.
So the way I do it is kind of similar in the structure I'm used to. So the structure I'm used to is a paramilitary organization, right? It flows down. So when I receive a negative complaint, I go to the committee chair, whoever it is. If it's police with Jason, DPW with Mike Hockenberry, code committee with Jason Vicarello again. And then we kind of work out the problem. And then we go back. And usually either they will or I will present what our solution is to that. It's a collaborative effort, and it has to be. One person can't have all the answers. This is a city of about 9,000 people and 2.7 square miles. So, it's going to take more than one person to fix these problems. But It's my job to orchestrate it and lead, to seek those answers.
Yeah. And Mr. Mayor, we're in the world of transparent and instant. Even this podcast right now is instant, right?
Yeah.
So a lot of times, instead of maybe to a city council meeting or to your office, the complaint goes on Facebook.
Yes.
And it's kind of like you didn't even have a chance to deal with it. Is that something you respond to, or do you try to get that complaint to come down the right avenue? How do you deal with that when it's out in the public opinion?
Well, I usually don't handle complaints off of Facebook like as comments. If they directly message me, then I will. Then I'll message them back. Usually I get most of my complaints through email or through my administrative assistant. But, I got to be honest with you. I don't know if it's because I'm a little older, but I don't focus on the comments on Facebook. I really don't. I come from a different generation, I guess, and up until recently, the last year, like, I wasn't on Facebook. I was on Instagram and Twitter, so, but I guess like anybody else, like, you want to eliminate that as best as you can and make everyone happy, but unfortunately you can't. And you have to deal with that.
Can't make them all happy. No, that's for sure. No. There. Again, jump in and say hello. Let us know where you're watching from. Mr. Mayor, you have two young children. Incredible here. A year and a half, Enzo, and Leah is 3. Yeah. I love the Italian name. Yes, beautiful. Yes. Tell me about being a new father and managing all of this new.
So being a new father, Leah came into our life. My wife and I we were just unsuccessful with having children. Full disclosure, like we waited for years, and then Leah came into our life. Proudest moment of my life, you know, and it was awesome, you know, and it did change me. It settled me down a little. Like they really say fatherhood change. It's true. It does. Like I feel like I got my patience back, you know, and then we made a decision. I'm an only child, you know, and we made a decision that we wanted, you know, Leah to have a sibling, and we brought Enzo into this world, and he's our little tornado. Leah is completely chill and, you know, calm, and Enzo is 1,000 miles an hour jumping off the furniture. So yeah, so I've learned to balance with them, you know, but both of them coming into our lives, just incredible, you know, and it was worth the wait, you know.
Beautiful. So tell me, Mr. Mayor, again, firefighting is a high adrenaline thing. A city council meeting is high adrenaline. You're on.
Yeah.
Now you got to come home. You got to get your sleep and managing all that stuff at home. How do you turn it off when you come home to be dad?
Well, going through the Career Fire Academy, it taught me a lot how to turn it on and turn it off, you know, and I kind of apply that going home, you know, like I don't bring work home with me. And the same thing with City Hall. Like I don't bring the negativity home with me. And I kind of just playing with my kids or talking it out with my wife. Like I'm able to just, you know, just relax. You know, I love playing with my kids. So that's, you know, that kind of soothes the soul, maybe, you know, as they say. Yeah.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Well, good luck. And that's beautiful. It's a fun age.
It is.
People told me all the time, they only get one childhood, you know?
Yeah. And they told me it would go fast. And my daughter's already 3.
Yeah.
And my son's going to be 2 soon. So,
You'll be coming into the school soon. Parent-teacher conferences soon.
Yes.
Yeah, beautiful. Dominic, you have a lot of passions in your life. Golf is a passion.
Yeah.
But sports in general. You love the sports.
Yeah.
You know, tell me about your relationship there with sports.
So that's the other thing I guess I should say that calms me down. I watch sports every night, and it drives my wife nuts. I think she looks forward to me going to work because then we're not watching the Knicks game or the Ranger game or the baseball game. But yeah, I'm a huge Knicks fan. I love the New York Rangers. And I know Craig Weimer or Eric Hipspin are gonna break my chops over this, but I'm a baseball fan, you know. So I watch the Yankees and the Mets.
Yeah,
you know, I don't have one specific team.
I like it.
Yeah,
I like it. We don't, you know, we could get along with Minnesota and Delaware Valley. You know,
yeah, we could coexist. Yeah, but I love sports, and I always have.
And what is it about sports? Is it the competitiveness? What is it that got into your system?
It is the competitiveness, and again, it's the camaraderie. You know, like I get it. I get the camaraderie. You know,
yelling at the TV and stuff.
Yeah. Oh, of course. I mean, why not?
How do you deal? And again, I watch sports too. I'm into sports. But how do you? The games are late. The Knicks game was 8 o'clock the other night. You know, how do you deal with it so late? And you're up early, little kids.
Well, listen, I don't make it through the Rangers double overtime. At 43 years old, I don't. When I hit 10 o'clock, 10:30, I'm fading, you know. But the Knicks games I found a little more energy for because we waited so long for this, you know. And now that we got 2 seasons of going back to the playoffs, I feel like I owe it to myself to watch these games. Yeah,
it's incredible, really, and you know, just the New York sports in general, and for sure.
Yeah,
awesome.
Yeah, I love it.
Cool. What questions do you have for me? Is there anything that you wanted to talk about here on the show?
How did you get Jim Caliaco squeezed into here?
Yeah.
Did you get him squeezed in
here?
Jim
was here. Yeah, we got Jim up there. Yeah, he was live in studio. We've had a number. Yeah, Mr. Anafree, our board president, was in here.
He's a good man too. Yeah, Jim Caliaco. Did you have Roman on the show, or did he just pop in?
Brian was on a Port Pride Minute. He was not in studio here. It's hard to get him. You
know? Yeah, he's a busy man. Yeah, he is a local legend.
Yeah. But yeah, no, we've had Jim Caliaco was in here, and that was great. We named the press box after him.
Well deserving. Yeah, he's the voice of God.
And wait till you see the stadium in Glennet Field.
Excited.
Yeah.
This community deserves that.
Yeah.
You know, we really do. We have such a rich, long tradition of football and winning, and we should have that. Yeah, I'm all aboard on that.
Yeah, our sports teams right now, multiple teams in the playoffs as well, and it's an exciting time of year. Dominic, back to you, your upbringing, firefighting. Again, we shared. I refereed basketball,
That's awesome.
and things I learned refereeing, it helped me be a principal, and then vice versa. What are some things that you would take from your life as a firefighter that help you be a mayor, help you be a good dad? What are some things that maybe cross over?
Like it's that moment where everything kind of jumps off, right? Like a lot of our time at the firehouse is downtime, but then in a split second, it's chaos, you know? And I take a lot of pride in being able to manage chaos, you know, whether I was the fire chief in this town or riding out on the trucks at work, you know, it's what we do. I've been doing it for a long time, you know, and as the years go on, you just get, you know, I've gotten better and better and better at it. And, you know, being here, we dealt with a lot of big incidents through my 10 years, you know, in the fire chief's line here. And we dealt with a lot of big incidents with my 12 plus years at Middletown, you know. And I feel like I bring a lot of that into City Hall. Like I can manage stressful situations, you know, and not everyone can. And I realize that. But my job as the leader is to be the calm when everyone else is kind of, you know, unsure of what's going on.
Yeah. Wow.
And I take pride in that.
And how about loss, Dominic? You must, I mean, people losing their home, people losing lives. How do you deal with that when you might see someone who didn't survive a fire or those things? How do you deal with it?
You have to talk it out. PTSD is a very real thing, whether it's in the law enforcement community, military, you know, it's certainly the fire service is not immune to that. Like you just, you know, I'm fortunate the guys I work with, we talk it out. You know, when I was the fire chief, I had two great assistant fire chiefs. We would just talk these things out. We'd always do like an after incident debriefing, whether it was the three of us or the department. You know, and it's important to get those things out. Another thing, being a leader is also watching over, you know, your employees, seeing how they're reacting in these situations too, and stepping forward and getting them help before they even need to know they need help. You know, so that's important too. We had tragedy our years here, you know, and we're not immune to it.
Yeah. Well, fire is a devastating thing for sure.
And freak accidents, things happen like that, you know, you have to manage that. And that's the hardest thing. You know, we've had our share of tragedy here. Yeah. I can't say it enough. You know,
we've had, again, so many of the service departments have come in, career day, different things, fire safety events here at the school. We've just turned the page to spring. Barbecues outside again. Winter, we're worried about heating things. What are some safety tips that you would offer to families springtime and summertime that you see are potential hazardous or dangerous situations?
I think the number one thing that we deal with, that the city's always dealt with and going to, is life jackets in the summertime on the river. You know, that's the biggest thing. Wear your life jackets. That every year that river claims, you know, it claims more outsiders of our community than insiders. But when it does get someone from our town, it's devastating because we know who that is. And we know that they probably should have not have been in that situation if they were in. And if they just had a life jacket, they would be alive today. You know? The National Park Service is going to be collaborating with the city, and we're going to be putting a life jacket station down at West End Beach this summer.
Oh, beautiful.
Yeah, so
that's good news.
Yeah, so we're moving along with that. John Fagione, our Director of Recreation, is spearheading that, and Wayne Hattie, our Assistant DPW Director, is assisting him with that, and that's going to be a major help for us. So we hope they just wear the life jackets. Yeah, you know, just wear them.
Wow, Dominic, I know you're a reader. We talked off air a little bit. How do you sharpen the saw? Again, full-time firefighter, mayor, father. You're a busy guy. It was Mother's Day yesterday.
Yes, yeah.
What are some things that you do to kind of sharpen your saw and make sure that you're continuing to grow as a dad and a father figure?
I do. Well, first of all, I want to thank you for giving me these books. They're awesome. And I promise I'll read them.
For sure.
I do a lot of reading. I always have. My friends kind of used to pick on me for it, but I do a lot of reading. I pride myself in staying current. You know, now with being mayor, New York State or the federal government is always sending me stuff through email or in the mail to, law changes, procedural changes, what's coming down with federal funding or state funding. And that's one of the ways that I stay sharp, So yeah, reading is big for me. Yeah.
Cool. Dominic, you're an Italian like me. Yeah, I'm sure eating food and the whole experience of food. And again, I'm here in town now. 150 Pike Street is our address. For years, I was on campus, and I just didn't get out much.
Yeah.
Even eating during the day was challenging. But to now be able to visit all these places, there are so many good places to eat here in town.
Yeah. Yes,
it's incredible.
It is.
Again, the new bagel store down the road is just, and we can't. I know I don't want to single any businesses out, but there's just so many good places to eat. Talk to me about the food in this town. The hotel is coming. It's just great to see.
The hotel project's exciting.
Yeah.
I think it's exciting for us that grew up here. The fact that no one built a large commercial building in our downtown district in decades, and maybe just decades, but that's a part of the revitalization. The food, I can name off all the places are great.
Yeah.
Honestly, yeah. There's, between Gio's, Front Street Cafe, the Bagel Station, Two Brothers Bakery, outstanding.
Yeah.
Of course we got the Erie, which I'm pretty sure I paid their electric bill for.
Do you spread out? Are you intentional about, hey, I went for pizza here last week, let me go here? Do you spread that out as mayor to kind of be visible in a lot of the businesses?
Yeah, you have to. You have to. And it's to be fair to them too, to all the businesses. Everyone's working hard, and it's not fair that you just patronize one place. Especially me in this position. That's what they want to see.
Yeah.
And I want to be there.
One of our summer projects, I really want to get, again, the school district logo and the businesses connected. We want to put some signs out for them. And
nice.
Again, building that connection between the school district and the community. And the culture, Dominic. Again, Italian, I know there's the new Italian place down there, but all different cultural types of food. You could find any kind.
Yes.
And it's just so great to see all the different nationalities.
It is. And it's about time.
Yeah.
It's about time. There is a huge variety now. And I think in the next few years, there's going to be even more of a variety for everybody.
Cool.
It's exciting.
Summertime here, your little kids, will you go on vacation? Do you get a little downtime? What will you do to kind of get away?
My wife and I always do go on vacation at least once a year with our kids. We take them out of town. We're big Jersey Shore people, so we take them down
early Saturday morning. Get out early.
Yeah. So we rent a house down there for the week. Take them down there. They're at that age where maybe we could start doing more if they were a little bit older. But
the midday nap is nice.
Oh, it's great.
I like it. The adults like it too.
Yeah, I love it. I'm gonna miss those days.
Well, cool. So you'll be going to the beach this time?
Yeah, taking them to the beach. Yeah.
Good.
And we have a few other little things planned, weekend trips and such.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Beautiful. Enjoy that.
Thank you.
Dominic, this has been great. A lot of fun here. I got a couple last questions. But again, was there anything that you wanted to share, any message to our community that you wanted to share before we close?
We're making a change. So the dial-a-bus, I just want to talk about this real quick. One of our initiatives in the beginning of the year was getting the dial-a-bus into a loop system.
I saw that.
So we have better accessibility for everybody in town. We're adding 2 stops to the dial-a-bus. We're adding Port Plaza here on Pike Street, and then we're also going to be adding the Salvation Army. Salvation Army does specifically lunch. I'll have to check my notes, but I believe on Fridays, the dial-a-bus is going to bring people there for a free lunch.
Beautiful.
So the fare is still 50 cents, but tonight at the Common Council meeting, I'll kind of lay everything out for everybody. But our dial-a-bus coordinator, and our DPW worked very hard on getting this program set and running, and so far it's been a success. And we're adding 2 more stops to it. We're going to be looking, hopefully, towards the end of the year, on maybe getting that bus over to Middletown, so we can get our folks over there to do some Christmas shopping or holiday shopping or whatever. So hopefully in the near future, we can announce that too. We're looking on doing I want to get everyone's hopes up, but we're looking right now on hopefully doing an electronic drop-off day. I know one of the biggest, not complaints, but inquiries that we take in is doing a bulk day, a bulk garbage day. I don't think we're there yet just because of the funding. We'd have to identify the funding. But in the meantime, I think right now what we would like to do is an electronic drop-off day with our DPW. And that, we'll work out the specifics of that, and hopefully the town will be receptive.
That's like old TVs,
computers. Yeah. So by law, you can't put that type of stuff on the curb. It's actually considered waste.
Yeah.
So we would intake it at the DPW maybe one day, and then dispose of it.
Okay.
So we're working towards that too. There's a little insight.
Our friend Miss Skellett, mom here in the district, is watching. I love her videos.
Yeah,
you're incredible. Yeah. Bringing people to move here to Port Jervis.
Keep it coming. Keep it coming. We love it.
Awesome. Well, this has been great, Dominic. Again, we wish you the best here. A lot of people rooting for you.
Appreciate
it. A lot of momentum going forward. School, the city. So many great things. So many outdoor events coming up. It's beautiful. So we wish you the best.
There was a lot. Check the city website. We keep it updated with all the town's events. And there's a lot coming up now. Now from Memorial Day on, there's going to be something at least every month.
Love it.
2-3 times.
You got your city shirt on.
Yeah, yes.
I got my Port Jervis shirt. I know you work in Middletown. There's a school over there we have a relationship with. Come the Bell game. What happened? Where are you at today in the Bell game? Are you crossing back and forth?
No. Port Pride, baby.
Port Pride. You wearing red?
That's it. Absolutely.
The guys in the fire department shooting water at you?
They can do whatever they want, but I'm definitely red.
Okay.
Yeah,
I love it. Beautiful. I know that's a big day for us. We'll have our fields ready, and I believe we are home this year, which is fantastic, and that'll be great. Cool.
All right,
Dominic. Last question: what does Port Pride mean to you?
To me, it means giving back to your community. It means being there for your neighbors, your fellow neighbors, through adversity and tough times. And so I go to these Orange County towns, village, and cities meetings, and all the town supervisors and county officials and such, they always tell me, the city of Port Jervis has a sense of community, has a sense of pride here. And it's something that we've always had. And it's incredible to me, because when tough times do happen, the community always steps up, and they step up in a big way.
Yeah.
And a lot of places, I think we don't realize that, but a lot of places aren't like that, but here is. And that really makes me proud. It really makes me proud. And I'm happy I stayed here.
Yeah.
I am.
We are too. Mayor Dominic Cicalese started in January, and we hope he stays on for many years. And we appreciate it. We look forward to your kids coming into the schools in a couple of years.
Look forward to it too.
And good luck on your journey here.
Thank you, Mr. Moran, for having me.
Yeah, Dominic Cicalese, everybody, here on the program. So excited to have him. The city council meetings, if people wanted to attend it, Dominic, what is it in City Hall? Where do they have it?
Second floor, City Hall, City Council chambers. The meetings are held every second and fourth Monday of the month at 6:30. They start.
And how can they follow you on social media? Is the city on social media?
So we do Facebook Live them.
Okay.
The meetings, they don't come out the greatest, but Access 23 is now back up and running after a long time.
Yep.
So they're going to be posted both on those.
Okay.
And I believe Access 23 is also going to be working towards a YouTube page.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, we want that engagement. We want it with the schools. We want it with the city. And again, Mayor Cicalese is available and engaged. So we appreciate it. And thanks for the time today.
Thank you again.
Yeah. Good luck.
Thank you.
Good luck. Let me see if I could get the closing right, since I screwed up the beginning of the show. Here it is. Video intro here. So we're going to sign off. Thank you for your support here in the schools, and certainly our city as well with our mayor. Thanks, Dominic.
Take care, everyone.